Hello everybody and welcome to AnimuOutsiders. So, with me today we've got Michael from something.
Hey, I'm that stupid.
Yep, that's right. Michael is literally so dumb he's already forgotten who he is. We've got Demolition D or Douchebag Chocolate, as you may or may not know him, depending if he's brought you here because of his large subscriber count that we are whoring out today.
I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it.
Oh yeah, baby.
We've got Alex. His name is Alex.
My name is Alex.
And I'm Hell Plus. I'm not your host, but after the awful pun from last week, I'm taking over from Michael as the guy who does the intro sequence. I will now be retreating back to my corner where I'll eat this lovely food of couscous and, of course, a bit of broccoli and tomato with some lovely, lovely green pesto on the side.
And since Rob was so stupid that he forgot about Darcy, I have to introduce Darcy. Here's Darcy.
Hello.
That was a really fancy dinner you just explained.
It is very nice and very easy to make.
I could go for some pesto right now. I love pesto. It's my favorite food.
What's pesto? I don't even know what pesto is.
It's just essentially basil and pine nuts with some oil, and it's like a sauce. It's good stuff.
And today on Cooking Outsiders...
Yes. So, what did you guys have for lunch today?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Coffee.
I'm having mango sherbet.
Sherbert. Like the character from Monster. Speaking of Monster,
coffee.
Monster's an anime.
It's the worst segue in history.
Let's talk about No Kyoukai Murder Study Part 2. I just finished up to like the 6th one last night.
6th one's very meh. 7th one's very good.
Yeah, I heard the 7th one was really good. I really liked the 5th one though. That was quite excellent.
Oh god, it was so good.
I was really surprised by the characters. I actually wound up really liking Shiro. His name is actually Enjo, but he looks a lot like Shiro from Fate Stay Night, which was pretty funny. But he ended up being kind of a compelling character for me.
Yeah, it is amazing to me that basically almost the entire cast of the 5th movie is just like redesigns of Fate Stay Night characters.
Yeah, you got Kirei as Mr. Priest.
Araya, yeah.
And then Shiro as Shiro. And then you got Kiritsugu as Shiki, but not in actuality.
The thing about the 5th movie, though, is that the horror direction works really well for the series, surprisingly.
Sort of.
And it kind of annoys me that they don't really follow that route too much. The 7th has a tinge of it, but it's like the 5th is the horror story, and it's annoying that they didn't continue with that direction because it is a really good direction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the end of the 6th one, there was some guy eating some other dude in an alleyway, and I was just like, wow, you're really downing him, bro.
How did he fit that in his stomach without his stomach exploding?
I have no idea.
That's a really useful power.
It is a good way to dispose of a body, that is true.
No, it's not, because then what about the bones? You'd have to eat the bones.
Well, you send them off to a popular animation studio who will then make several popular great animes, including a lot of Bones made. Fucking Cowboy Bebop, of course.
No, that was Sunrise, I think.
Didn't it? Oh no, didn't Bones do the movie though?
Yeah, Bones did the movie.
So guys, thoughts on Cowboy Bebop? No, just kidding. We were talking about No Kyoukai, the garden of dinners, apparently, since there's cannibalism and food is being eaten.
But I love Cowboy Bebop with Spike Shiki. Fucking, it's literally just Cowboy Bebop, but halfway through he just goes, "I can cut everything," and used to have a second soul.
But one thing that I absolutely couldn't stand about No Kyoukai was the Love Hina main character. Kokoto, I think his name was. It fucking sucked.
He's so boring. Try and describe him. Go ahead, try and describe him.
He's nice.
Kind of normal.
He's there?
Honestly, he's like a really nice wet noodle.
Oh, and singing in the rain in the English, that was amazing. Singing in the rain.
Yeah, it was off and on so much, that entire song.
Despite how much I was laughing at that scene, in terms of direction, that was a very good scene.
It is a good scene.
Well, no, I mean, it was amazing. It was an amazing scene. It just, if it were in English and not English, it would have been a lot more effective.
I actually, I watched the 7th movie for the first time in German. I bought the DVD out in Germany. And so German with German subtitles. Didn't know what was going on. Very good movie when you don't know what's going on.
Why did you put the German subtitles on?
Because if you're watching it in German with German subtitles, you have an excuse for not knowing what's going on.
Actually, No Kyoukai, 99% of the time, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? There's this world here with spirits and magic, and I'm just like, how does this world work? What is this world? There's fairies. What are the fairies doing here?
Fairies?
What's going on? No, there's another fairy, and he's wearing a big red hat.
Well, fairy is a wizard.
Alex. I think in this situation, fairy applies as well. But either way, I was thoroughly enjoying No Kyoukai.
Exactly, me too.
Yeah. The thing, I get that the slow parts are just kind of, people argue they're a bit pretentious and stuff, but as a whole, they are great fucking movies. They're entertaining. They have legitimate moments that are emotional. The fourth one is a great character piece. It really is. You know, it's slow, it's thoughtful, and it's interesting to see someone on the brink of basically being like, I want to cut my own eyes off. Yeah, the plot's all over the place, but you get moments, you get great things out of them, and they are fucking beautiful animations. Yes, they're made of shaders. It's an animation style where basically we have no animation style, so we're going to just put on every shader in the world, but the shaders do make the lighting look bloody good.
Actually, I mean, I think the lighting in Car no Kyokai looks kind of shitty in a few places. Like, it makes certain things look too bright and blurry, if that makes sense. But at night, it looks good.
Fucking every time I say something, Michael's just like... Because the thing was, like, I'm Hell Plus, I'm the negative guy. But whenever I say something, anything positive, Michael's just like, Rob should be the negative guy. I need to make sure he knows this.
I think you two should fight.
Michael's just full of criticisms of things.
He notices the flaws.
Well, no, because that's my job. That's my job.
What can I say? I'm a critical goat. I mean, like, I'm just like, this cheese does not live up to my standards. It's not worthy of the Garden of Dinners.
Garden of Dinners.
That sounds like a good dish, actually. Like the Kara no Kyokai dish.
The food, it will bring us full circle back to Kara no Kyokai.
Slowly but surely, the food is trying to, like, rope us back into talking about it.
But yeah, what did you think of the characters demo in Kara no Kyokai in general?
I believe that Aozaki Toko has really big boobs, and she was my favorite because of that. And I guess she's a strong, independent woman, and I enjoyed that aspect as well.
She don't need no man. She was my favorite as well, I think. I don't know why, though. She didn't really do anything.
She's both useless and badass at the same time. She's kind of amazing in a weird way.
Useless? Did you see the 5th movie?
No. This is why I say she's useless in a way, okay? Apart from the 5th movie, like, 4th movie, it's just like, this is a woman whose powers revolve around flame, and she can't even burn a fucking corpse.
Oh, man, I think she's so... We should talk about the 5th movie.
It is the best.
Yes, it definitely is.
It definitely is. But, and this is why I jokingly say that Ao is useless, because in the 5th movie, the reason it's the best is because everyone is so different to what they are in the actual series.
That's actually really, really true. I mean, like, I felt like Shiki was a much more compelling character in the 5th one for whatever reason. I guess it's because they focused on her more and kind of took the time to build the relationship between Enjo and Shiki, and that worked out. And the rest of the characters feel more proactive.
Fucking Al being this incredibly useful, active person going basically into the battlefield to the enemy and trying to find out what's going on. Kogoto actually joining her because he wants to help. Shiki being this headstrong person who's in the lead, who is scared at some points. And this kid, Enjo, he's, you know, this scared kid who has a dilemma, has a reason, has a want. It's the most violent episode in the thing. It's the most freaky. It's the best directed, the best written. And it feels completely different to every single other episode because it doesn't feel like it's trying to make me feel sympathetic for someone or whatever, although 4 did make me feel sympathetic. It legit makes you feel sympathetic for these characters in their situation. And so, weirdly, I actually feel that for the show to work, you have to retcon it.
Do you think the 5th one would work as a standalone? I don't know if it would, is the thing.
I think the main thing is that with the 5th movie, first off, there isn't really much continuity between them. They don't really explain much anyway. I haven't seen the last 2, so I don't know. I keep that in mind when I say that. But, so I think the 5th one would work on its own as far as, like, understanding who the characters are and what they want, but you might not understand as much as how the world works and what the rules are of the universe, more so.
The thing is that you still watch the first one because it didn't make any sense. The 5th one reintroduces you the characters because they have to in each movie because the characters feel completely inconsistent in each movie. So, the 5th one does work standalone. It is this creepy movie, and all of the fiction doesn't make any sense, but you can just go, oh, it's just part of a wider universe. People will accept it and enjoy the movie.
Does anybody here know how the world works in Kara no Kyokai? Does anyone? Demo, do you know?
It just seems random.
I think that's the allure of Kara no Kyokai.
Is the mysteriousness of the world?
Oh yes, definitely. And not really knowing what's going on the whole time is what keeps you coming back.
It is what keeps you coming back, but it keeps you coming back because you hope it will be explained. Because I will say this now, I know you guys haven't seen the 7th movie. The 7th movie is fantastic, but the 7th movie doesn't clear up any plot. It is in essence, the seventh movie is actually more of a side story that just ends relationship structures. This is what it does. It clears up relationship structures, but it is this big diversion story that doesn't actually go, hey, what the fuck was Araya doing? Or like, here is like a legacy that he's left behind. It's a side story based on something completely different. Leads more back to the second movie.
Yeah, but it does clear up Shiki, though, with the whole thing about her not being a real murderer, considering she doesn't actually kill anyone throughout the entire show, which is brilliant.
Yeah, it is brilliant. But in terms of the actual fictional lore of the show, it has a few moments where it actually makes you ask a few more questions and answers. Of course, there is an 8th movie on the way now. It's been announced. Lots of adverts for it.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what that will entail because it's either going to be one of the sequel books because it's named after one of the sequel books, but all the stuff they've shown is from one of the prequel books. So everyone's getting rather confused, and in the end it will be a mashed up mixture of both.
I'm pretty sure Shiki's daughter is in the 8th one.
Well, is the other one out?
No.
Speaking of, do you guys think that the non-linear structure of telling those movies, like having this one's a prequel, and then this one's a sequel to this one, and it's a prequel to that one,
There's really not much point, in my opinion, in, well, I guess having it this way, because the lack of any sort of continuity really makes it feel like none of it is, like, connected. The non-linearness really doesn't support any of the characters in a positive way, so I guess the only pro I can see is making the events seem more interesting.
There was no reason to do it, but I like that they did it anyway.
Is because the thing about Kaiju Kyoukai is the story, like we said, it's inconsistent, it's all over the place, so you just learn to accept that. So the non-linear structure just adds to that confusion, so you just sort of get over it when you realise that really the story doesn't make any sense. And we don't mean that as a horrible thing, it just doesn't make any sense, that's fine. There are plenty of stories that can't make any sense and you can love them. But the thing is that the reason it works is because episode 2, which is the prequel episode with the plot, it's not interesting until an hour in, when the murder's happening. You're like, ooh. But episode 1, it starts off, things are going on. There's this weird thing with the ghosts and just people are getting strangled, and then her own arm chops her own arm off. It's like, whoa, this is kind of amazing. I can't believe this. And so 1 is really good. I would have argued that the best start they could have had was 3, but they probably didn't do that because they didn't want to push everyone out of the way with a rape scene straight out the door.
There's nothing that segues into a rape scene, is what you're saying. I'll agree with that. They don't set you up for a rape scene.
Well, even if you're watching it in order, that scene is really shocking because there's nothing really that much like that in the series up to that point.
It ends with a rape scene. The bridge.
I know, it's true.
Bridge gets raped.
My bridge gets raped.
It's actually a metaphor for an anal cavity.
And Murder Study Part 2 is a metaphor for my penis.
Yours specifically, or just penises like all around the globe?
No, it's mine specifically. Gen Urobuchi wrote it that way.
Oh my gosh. That guy is fucking crazy.
Gen Urobuchi wrote everything, though.
We'd like to just quickly stop this podcast and thank the man who scripted everything we're saying, Gen Urobuchi.
Medical.
Hence, there's a lot of people
Medical
pausing in each other. It's all over the place, and now I shall do the Gen Urobuchi look. I'm just going to quickly turn around. Just go, guys, everyone, just pretty quickly, everyone, you know, because Gen Urobuchi's writing it. Everyone's going to turn around, look backwards, and then just tilt your head.
I'm actually
Just do
doing
that
it
head
right
tilt.
now. I'm doing the
'Cause
shaft.
Gen Urobuchi.
I'm
do
doing
the
its
head tilt.
head tilt. Oh, Jesus Christ, on my neck! Ah!
What the fuck is going on?
I'll tell you a weird irony about Kaiju Kyoukai, though, which is one of the more interesting episodes is the OVA Blu-ray special. And one of the reasons it's one of the most interesting ones is because it's an hour of the show trying to explain its plot, and it's hilarious in that way, but somehow really interesting. It's like, because the plot is the least, it's just so all over the place. It's like, you can't explain this. And the OVA fails to. It ends up giving you more questions. But still, you're kind of like, ooh.
No, I have a question. Does the light novel series explain everything about the world, or does it not? And if so, I have another question, which is the light novel series in the same chronological order that the movie series is? Is it all mixed up?
Ooh, I do not know, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Has anyone here read the light novel series?
To Wikipedia!
To the place where all reviewers go, the Wikipedia! Copy and pasting article right now.
We're so fucking casual.
In England, it's pretty hard to get a copy of them. In fact, I haven't never seen a copy around, so...
What, No Kyoukai?
Like, yeah.
Just make sure to put some mashed potatoes on it. The Garden of Dinners is way more tasty that way.
What are we even talking about?
It's the perfect complement to Kyara no Kyoukai, mashed potatoes.
So yeah, we've got 130 subscribers, and like with this second episode coming out, just watch all of them leaving.
Hey, no, I'll still be there. There'll be 5. Be us.
No, you'll be so disappointed upon hearing the full version of this. You will also leave.
You are shitting yourself, Rob. The second episode is going to have so many more views. And you know exactly why.
Why, are we putting Lolicon in it?
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing.
I mean, like, how many tits can we put in the thumbnail? Like, is that legal?
Rob, was that a personal attack, Rob?
I think we can put boobs in it, but I only think we can put 5 in there because, 5. Haha.
Man, you're just a pun garden.
The garden of punners, to be exact, yeah.
And now to talk about Space Dandy out of nowhere. Space Dandy, it's a thing. Okay, so now that we've talked about Space Dandy...
No, legitimately, though, I'm just curious. What are you guys' opinions on Space Dandy, or are you looking forward to it? Because I'm kind of looking forward to it, actually.
I honestly couldn't care less.
That's how I felt in the beginning, but I'm actually looking forward to it now. It's kind of hard not to, just because of the team behind it and the composer. Yoko Kanno has the best musical range. She can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people remember her for Cowboy Bebop and all that jazz and kind of stuff, that kind of stuff. But she's done Escaflowne, which is orchestral, that harmonic melody kind of thing. And she's also done Ghost in the Shell, some more techno beat kind of things. So she's got a fantastic range. She's probably one of the best composers in the fucking industry. She's Foshizo-manizzle.
She's almost as good as Gen Urobuchi.
Oh, I wish Gen would touch my Urobuchi.
Did he write that line, Michael?
Yes, he wrote that line for me to say.
Even the stuff about, like, if someone hates Gen Urobuchi, that's like Gen Urobuchi's, like, inner, like, self-doubt manifesting itself.
The quality of the podcast in Gen Urobuchi's writing for this right now is making him hit an all-time low. But then again, everyone's hatred of this particular episode, because it's so crap, will be also written by Gen Urobuchi. So maybe it's like some big plot twist coming up, because it is directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Genora butchering our podcast.
It's so funny because kill yourself. Watch Hell Plus. It's so much better than this shit. Advertise your shows now. Get off this sinking boat before it's too late.
Before we start exploding into other nonsensical random topics, I just wanna ask about Garden of Dinners. What do we think about Yuki Kajira's music?
It's good, but it's the same thing. Like, always.
She can do one really good song in everything she does. And when I say one really good song, I don't mean like she does a song in this thing, it's really good, she does a song in this thing. No, she does one song, and then it's the same in every single show she's ever done.
She's kind of like me trying to impress someone while playing like the piano, because I always play the same song. It's like one song that's impressive.
That is the perfect conclusion right there. It's good, but it's the same thing. It's great, but it's the same thing.
I think her process for making a song is to look at something and go, this scene, I have an idea. What about violins with generic choir?
It's like, hey, Yuki Kajira, rape. What are we gonna do for this rape scene?
Let's get some violins. Throw a cello in there, and then some choir.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do when this character's eating cake, Yuki Kajira? What are we gonna do?
Well, you could put in some violins.
And maybe some choir.
I have a cello.
Damn it, that's it. We have to fire Yuki Kajira. We need to find someone else who could be a visionary for our piece. So, David Cage, what should we do for this scene? I think you should make it so they should press square to initiate rape, so they feel like it's like their fault and stuff.
That's not even a funny joke.
So, shall we give them the choice whether to be raped or not? Yes, we should give them the choice, but make sure it fades out so whatever happens, they get raped. Thank you, Mr. Cage. You've been so useful.
I was not told that David Cage was going to be a part of this podcast.
I'm sorry.
I'm David Cage. I like to be a David Cage. What do you have to say to me, Mr. Demolition? Is there any questions any of you would like to ask me, David Cage?
Can you please go home?
I'm afraid that it's very difficult to go home on account of me always being drunk.
Hey, I've got a question, David Cage. Are you a failure of the game designer?
As you can see, asking questions about whether I'm the failure of the game designer is a failure of the game designer.
So, David Cage, when are you making your sequel to Indigo Celsius?
I'm afraid that during the latter half of the development of Indigo Prophecy, I realized that I was smoking way too much weed writing the ending of that, and I cannot remember where the sequel was going to go, I'm afraid.
Hey, let's talk about our favorite scenes in Heavy Rain. My favorite scene in Heavy Rain is where you have to sacrifice one of segments of your fingers to save your son, and then you get to choose your instrument, and there's like a big sharp meat cleaver. There's like, I don't know, there's like scissors, and then I don't remember exactly specifically, but then there's like a fucking rolling pin or a basketball. And I just picked the bluntest, rustiest thing I could find and just watched him go, ah! Ah!
That was actually really unnerving.
And then he takes a step back and it's under the desk. It was there the whole fucking time. He didn't have to do it. Why didn't he just check the room?
I know, he should just check whatever he gets into. It's like, seriously, you know that it's gonna be in something. It's better to take apart the fucking car than to actually drive the fucking car. Why not just look through it?
Do you love your son?
No, he's fucking retarded.
Because you see, why would anyone want to watch a plot about a man who is clever and instinctively finding things in a very interesting manner, when you can instead have a plot where a man does things unconditionally because he says so? Because I'm doing is making a big statement about games and how games tell you to do things. But in my new game, Beyond 4 Souls, after the sad cancellation of Beyond 3 Souls by Bethesda, because I went to them and I was like, make me a game, and they were like, no. So I now am making Beyond 4 Souls, which is a sequel to Terminator.
David Cage, I swear to fucking
No,
God.
I thought it was the best idea ever. Have David Cage help produce a movie which is written by Gen Urobuchi, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Nicolas Cage.
Plot twist, it actually wasn't Gen Urobuchi. It was M. Night Shyamalan the whole time.
Damn it, the writing's getting worse.
Guys, can we get a mini M. Night Shyamalan and a mini Gen Urobuchi and have them fight inside a David Cage?
I'm gonna put David Cage inside of a David Cage. Inside of a David Cage.
Rob, you said that your favorite anime was Requiem for the Phantom on the last episode, or am I wrong?
It is true.
Okay. I wish I was there because I was watching and I wanted to say something about that.
Go on then, say it now.
I've never in my life had an ending of an anime affect me in the way that Requiem for the Phantom did. When I finished that, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had my headphones on. I was alone in my room in the dark. I stood up, and I just had my arms in the air, and I was just looking at the screen. I didn't know what to feel. At least at the end of Evangelion, I knew how to think.
That is worryingly similar to my story. The day I watched Requiem for the Phantom, I watched it, I marathoned it because I got so entranced by it.
So did I. I marathoned it in like 2 days.
I know, but it was a school night. It was a school night. It was 4 a.m, dark. My room is right next to my mother's.
My room's next to your mother's.
You can hear each other through it. Yeah, you can hear each other through it though. So you try and stealth watch these things, with headphones and stuff. I screamed, "What the fuck!"
I know. That's exactly what I stood up and I was like, "What the fuck!"
And I was immediately given a lot of angry, just like, Rob, what are you doing? Why are you up at 4 a.m. on a school night shouting swear words? The ending, it is this incredibly interesting experience of an ending. It really does. They talk about a plot where it just punches you in the face. This is like a horse kicking you in the face of an ending, but not in a bad way. It's just so interesting.
Personally, I don't even know if I liked the ending. I was laughing my head off by it because I thought the entire idea was completely ridiculous and ludicrous. That being said, I was emotionally invested in the characters, so I did appreciate it from that standpoint, but I thought the entire third arc, the Japanese one, was so dumb.
Yeah, and it's a mixed bag of emotions, the ending to that show.
Yeah.
Speaking of dumb, has anybody seen Fate Zero? I realized that Alex has seen Fate Zero, right?
I've seen it.
Well, I saw bits of it and was just like, you know what this feels like? Something that's written by Gen Urobuchi left.
And lo and behold.
Did he write the light novel?
As far as I'm aware of, yeah, he did.
It's interesting to watch as far as it's entertaining. Like, all the characters are really entertaining. And yeah, there's nothing deep about it. It's sort of like a throwback. In my mind, it's almost like a throwback to like old Heroes' Tale, like Arthurian legend and stuff, where all the themes are a lot simpler and all the characters are a lot simpler. but it's not really commenting on anything.
Well, it's got these really simplistic ideas on good and evil, and each character represents some sort of philosophical ideals and nothing else. And they're also really simple philosophical ideas, and it's really, really fucking. It doesn't add to any ideas. It doesn't have really strong concepts in it. It's just there.
The thing about everything Urobuchi's done is everyone always seems to believe that it's deeper than it actually is.
Madoka 3 Rebellion.
Careful, Michael. Careful.
By the way, to anyone who has seen any Madoka fans who have seen my previous video and are like, oh, he's just doing one of his hyperbole jokes, I stand by every statement in that video. It was a fucking awful movie and I wanted to die. So, Merry Christmas!
Hey, can I bring something up that you guys brought up in the last episode?
Yep.
6 feet of rope.
Yeah, you guys had a little bit of a discussion just relatively quickly about Mirai Nikki.
Yep. Future diarrhea. Yep.
Love it, cause it's shit and it is amazing.
Yeah, Mirai Nikki sucks.
Yep, it really does.
Darcy, you two-faced son of a bitch, in the last podcast, you specifically said that you were on the fence. Now you think it sucks? Darcy? Darcy? Darcy?
Screw you, Michael. It always sucked. I just didn't want to talk about it. And look how far that went. I'm talking about it now, and I also talked about it last time, so I guess I kind of failed there, but...
Yeah, but, and it's funny because I do have that Should You Watch Mirai Nikki, which it is my most watched episode of Should You Watch. And that is what a lot of people bring up. They do say that that's why it's good, because it sucks. And I think that if it came off as more self-aware as a show like Kill Bill that is goofy, where, heads are flying off, then it's self-aware. It knows it's goofy. I honestly don't think that Mirai Nikki has any idea that it's goofy. I think it's trying to be completely serious the whole way through, and it's just horrible in that regard.
It is completely trying to be serious throughout the entire show, and you can tell the drama it wants to hit you, even though a mailman fucking killed Yuki's dad. A fucking mailman. And it's like, oh, the drama. Oh, the sorrow. Oh... And, I've talked about all this in my review, and it's ridiculous. But shameless plug, go watch my review of Mirai Nikki, guys.
There's just... I often say that it's the little things that matter. I really do appreciate little things in shows and in anything, in any kind of medium, But there are so many little things in Mirai Nikki that are just wrong, that you see all over the place, that you just see in every single episode, and it's like, oh my god, that's so horrible, and they just ignore it, and I'm just supposed to watch it and be like... Alright, I guess I'll just look over that. Oh, man. My first run-in with Mirai Nikki actually wasn't with the TV series at all. It had an OVA, I think, like a year, maybe 2 years before the TV series came out. I felt betrayed because I liked the OVA. I thought it was cool, man. I watched it, I was like, man, if this were a series, I'd watch the shit out of this. Then it got turned into a series. I talked about it with my friends. I was like, oh, man, this is going to be really good. I saw the OVA, and then... well, you know what happened. It came out. It turned out to be a piece of shit.
It's fine. Can I just apologize ahead of time for all of you Mirai Nikki fans out there who need to know that, join with me. I'm fighting the good fight with you guys, defending our
you're rallying the wrong
but
army.
wonderfully dumb show.
You are rallying the wrong army, my friend.
No. Fans of idiocy and pretentiousness who can't seem to understand what bad script writing is. Join me in our new army of what the fuckness.
My name is Rob, and at my back, a host of 12-year-old angry, edgy teens. Knocking down the gates of Demolition D Plus's channel.
How dare you? Some of them are 13. Some of them are 13.
God damn it, I hate fucking Future Diarrhea.
We need to all watch that together. We need to all just get together in Skype and watch Mirai Nikki start to finish one night.
Like everything we've ever seen, Gen Urobuchi, his existence is just, like End of Ava, fucking Time Reaper, Vampainter, they're just End of Ava. Everything's End of Ava. Also, can everyone stop sending us messages, okay? It's really hard to find Time Reaper and Vampainter. We do get it, okay? Me and Darcy fucking got them at boot sales, okay? They're rare as fuck. I just noticed Vampainter, because the DVD box that I have just says Vampainter and Time Reaper, and it's Vampainter and Time Reaper double pack.
Hey, actually, random question. Have any of you ever heard of Origin Spirits of the Past?
Yeah, it's a terrible movie with the best opening to a film I've ever seen.
Sorry, that's true. Yeah, no, I don't even have anything to comment on that. That's totally true.
Yeah, but it's because the first 5 minutes make you care about the history of the entire planet. Like it's just 5 minutes of opera music and brilliance, and it's done by Kokir as well, which is
Yeah,
great.
that movie tried really hard to get me to care, and I didn't.
I will say, if you want to watch a dumb show, if you want to watch a dumb show that's legitimately good, watch Date Live. That's a dumb show that's legitimately fun and very good.
I swear to God, if you put that in the podcast,
Michael would hate it.
Yeah, I probably would, but I probably would hate most things. You know what something I don't hate is called? Kaiji. Watch fucking Kaiji. Kaiji is the motherfucking bomb.
Kaiji was pretty damn good. I was left in suspense most of the time.
I know what you mean. I haven't been in this much suspense watching a show since fucking Monster. Kaiji, though, is just... It makes me care for the main character quite a lot, and that's something that I was really surprised about. I really feel connected with him, and I really want him to win every single time, and the second arc is completely mind-blowing. Completely mind-blowing. Well, just right out of the water.
I haven't seen past episode 7 yet, unfortunately, but I can see what you mean when you say you care for the main dude. I was actually sitting there like, man, you can win this. You better win this. Will you win this? Oh my god, please do.
By the way, guys, serious spoilers for Attack on Titan. Okay, spoilers for Attack on Titan. It's shit.
I think it's only okay, but I definitely don't think it's shit, and neither does Demo.
It's what happens with any anime that that people just absolutely fall in love with. It's if it's a good anime and it gets too popular, then it's shit. It's shit. That's what happens.
Well, the characters are bloody rubbish in Attack on Titan. I'm gonna say that, but that's not why I enjoyed the show. No, Aaron Jaguar was completely...
The whole show is just fine. That's just it. I think the whole show is just fine.
It's fine. Yeah, no, it's good. It's just.
But you just said it was shit.
It's fine. I didn't say it was shit. I didn't say it was shit at all.
Yeah, but it was just End of Ava though. It was just End of Ava though.
Rob, I swear to God.
What? Fucking, if the Madoka 3 movie fans can keep telling me that movie's just End of Ava, I can say that anything's just End of Ava, because I can make up shit on the spot as well. Yeah, you heard me, Madoka 3 fans. Get the fuck over yourselves.
Madoka 3 fans are certainly the most obnoxious. Some guy told me that he wanted to shoot me after, like, freaking my impressions video, which was... What? Really?
Stephen. Bob. Charles.
Fucking Stephen Bob Charles.
What a dick.
Watch some guy with the name Stephen Bob Charles comment and be like, you guys are assholes.
I want him on the podcast. If he actually comments, I will be like, you need to come onto this podcast.
Wow, what a red-blooded American, Stephen Bob Charles. You know someone's gonna make a username now that's called that.
I want documented proof. You have to scan your birth certificate.
We need a birth certificate, yeah. Hey, Jesus.
Yeah.
Can I just say that when we exchanged phone numbers, I don't know if we're allowed to tell people that.
I'll make sure to text you later,
but
baby.
when we exchanged phone numbers, I put you in my contacts as GoatJesus, and your contact icon is actually Shinji from episode 19 of Evangelion, and then he's like, Misato, and it flies up into the air, and it zooms in on his face, and he looks really angry, and I photoshopped a piece of cheese over his face. And when I say Photoshop, I mean Microsoft Paint. I put it over his face, and I put it into my phone, and I put it in my contacts list.
I'm going to actually make that my new avatar on my channel.
Well, guys, any final words?
But I'm having a pod blast. Kill me now.
Michael, and you had such an easy one. You should have just said it's the podcast that will take you back to the pod past.
Well, I'm glad to say I'm the only one in this episode who's not thrown out a terrible pun.
Hey, mine was only half a horrible pun because I just copied Michael's horrible pun and made it worse.
Written by M. Night Shyamalan. Directed by David Cage.
I have been Goat Cheesy, and I like cheese and goats, and especially, oh god, Shinji's cum on my face. That's why I love that. Yeah.
Well, this is awkward. I'm Alex or Aldris or something, and thank you for listening.
As my great grandfather used to tell me back when he used to review anime, we called him the Demolition Granddad. Break it down, bitch. Let me see you back it up. Drop that ass down low, then pick that motherfucker up. Thank you. I'm Demolition D+.
Hey. He plagiarized that from the future.
Beautiful.
I realised today that if you want to like start thinking about planning to murder someone, the best thing to do is just join a podcast. The nature builds and builds until it comes into an unrelaxing
Rob, I said I was going
thought.
to lick your face.
Oh yeah, thank you for that. I actually like cheered me up.
Rob, come here.
Yeah,
Rob, look at me.
It's fucking gross. Oh god. Oh god. No.
Rob, you taste like
Fucking,
fish
I
and
hate
chips.
fish. Fish is gross.
Well, on that cheerful note, I'm Darcy from AnimeArchived. This has been AnimuOutsiders. We'll see you next time.